Inauguration set for Wednesday. Security in Washington, D.C. is really ramping up in response to the siege on the U.S. Capitol. 7-foot non-scalable fencing is now around the Capitol, and it's been topped with razor wire. Behind that, hundreds of armed National Guardsmen are standing watch.
We're looking at individuals who may have an eye towards repeating that same kind of violence that we saw last week.
Now, that's the FBI director who you just heard from there, and he says that the agency is tracking extensive online chatter about potential armed protests both in Washington and at state capitals around the country.
Well, today we'll be hearing more about security plans for Minnesota's state capitol in preparation for potentially violent protests. Minnesota's Attorney General Keith Ellison will be part of a briefing at 10 o'clock this morning. He'll be joined by the Attorney General for Washington, D.C., as well as the Mayor of Lansing, Michigan, at state's capital. Minnesota's Department of Public Safety is also involved, asking people to stay away from the state capitol in St. Paul unless they have legitimate business or plan to protest peacefully. And just about an hour ago, we learned that the Minnesota History Center will be closed on Saturday and Sunday due to safety concerns. The state has approved several permit applications for events on the Capitol grounds this weekend. The group Hold the Line Minnesota has permits. They told us, quote, "We're just doing what we've always done, and that is peacefully protest all that's been stolen from us," end quote. State troopers, DNR officers, and National Guard soldiers will be visible and ready to respond. DPS officials say they are prepared for whoever shows up.
We are members of the FBI's Joint Terrorism Task Force. So we have a BCA officer who's on the task force. Because he's on the task force, he has access to all of the FBI data that would be involved in a plot to attack the Capitol or to attack a member of Congress or a member of the legislature or other criminal activity that's terrorism related.
Count on 5 Eyewitness News for continuing coverage of the protests here in Minnesota and around the nation. We will bring you the latest on air and online anytime at KSTP.com.